situation, say a fire breaks out in a building, this one for instance, what mistakes have you encountered?
So now I think when someone's clothes is on fire, we tend to see them running. Remember, air has oxygen, and oxygen will funnel or will fuel this fire and will continue burning. So the best thing to do is say stop, drop, and roll. So you stop running. If this person is still running around and you're there with them, you can gonga tu kidogo anguke chini, then you roll them down on the ground. You are starving the oxygen from the fuel or the fire reaction that normally happens. So the fire will go out. Then now you want to assess your casualty. Do they have a first-degree burn? Do they have a second-degree burn, or do they have a third-degree burn? The other mistake we normally see is people trying to put out fire using water. Remember, not all fires are put out with water. Something like an electrical fault that has happened. If you pour water, this might even now bring the sparks, and fire will even spread, and a big property will even be destroyed. Another example is the kitchen fires. When someone is cooking, they want to throw water so that, you know, it stops the fire from burning. What happens? With the flame, it goes up again. So you want to look at the different classes of fire and the different classes of extinguishers or materials that you can use to put out fire. Yes.
So which fires are put out with using water?
So now, water, you'd use combustible material, something like firewood. Okay, you can use water to put out that fire. Okay, for the kitchen fires, either caused by hot oil, you want to use a fire blanket, which is mostly readily available, and we recommend one having that around their homes or in the kitchen, so that anytime there's a fire around the kitchen, they just use the fire blanket to put out fire. That works perfectly, and for the kitchen fires as well, including one from the gas. Yes.
So, you know, we usually hear that, you know, even the towel, the ones that we use for bathing, or even blankets, can be used. Is that true?
That is true, but before you use it, you want to dampen it a bit, like soak it in a bucket of water, okay? Then now you want to cover that fire with that. Yes, but do not throw it, because as you're throwing it, you're funneling oxygen to the fire, so it might even get bigger, and it scares you, and it might also burn you in the long run. Yes.
So for somebody, maybe nguo yake imeshika moto, yeah, and we're talking about, sometimes if you're talking about flammable, the ones from the kitchen, you can use a towel, a kitchen towel, blankets or whatever. But can you use that on somebody? You throw a wet blanket on them?
Yes, yes. You cover them, or you wrap them with that blanket. That can still work. It has to be wet.
All right.
Yes.
So when does a burn become serious enough to require urgent hospital care? So
now, again, we base it on the extent, how bad this burn is. And then we said second-degree burn, anything that has a blister, that one needs urgent medical help, because now it has gone past just the outer skin layer that you normally see. It has gone deeper to either the second layer, or could even go to the subcutaneous tissue. Again, with the third-degree burn. I don't know if you can maybe picture someone. I know this is also could be a common practice that people do, because I hear they say you use transformer oil to treat burn. So where do they get this transformer oil? They have to climb up the transformer. So a small mistake can happen, then fire starts. Picture that someone burning on that pole, on the transformer pole. So they end up looking black or darker because of the burns they've had. So this person definitely needs to be taken to hospital for urgent medical attention as well. Yes.
Let's talk about oil burn. How do you deal with that?
So now, for oil burn, again, when it comes to burns, we just classify them on the 3 degrees, the first degree, the second degree, and the third degree. So one, you want to ensure that if the body is still on fire, you want to remove as much clothes as you can, also considering that you have to make them still decent. Okay. Then if the fire is still there, you want to again irrigate the affected part with cold water. Okay. Then once cooling has happened, or once they're not feeling any pain, you want to take them to hospital again for further medical assistance. Now, there are several myths and or several traditional things that people normally use to treat burns.
Yes.
You'd hear someone say using mafuta ya bunduki. Personally, I've not seen it, but it's a common thing that we hear people say. You'd see people using wheat flour. okay, on the burnt place. Amechomeka na mafuta, well, either they are making chapati or they are cooking chips, then it just happens, they cool, then they apply the wheat flour. We'll see other people using Colgate as well. So now, it might work just on the outer layer, okay, but not the inner part or the inner skin layer that has been burnt. So you end up, this person may have, may later on get what you call sepsis, an infection. Yes, the outer part looks dry, but when you press where the burn is, you can see pus coming out because now the internal organs that were burnt have not been attended to, they have not been treated. So we recommend that anytime you have a 2nd degree burn and a 3rd degree burn, please make sure that you end up seeing a doctor. Let them give you the medication, let them pop up the blisters, they'll give you medication for that, and at the end of the day, you'll still be treated.
How about over-the-counter drugs?
Now, they may have their own implication, okay, because at times you just go say, give me Panadol, give me Maramoja. You don't know the components of this medicine.